video, I'm going to be telling you everything that you're going to need for a ball python, so let's just get into it. The first thing that you're going to need for a ball python is obviously the cage, and a good sized cage is a 30-gallon, and that is what I have for Key, and it works great. And you're also going to need bedding. I recommend this brick bedding so that your cage has the perfect humidity whenever you put the bedding in, and you don't have to mix and match putting different amounts of water into the dry bedding already to find the right amount of water. And I would also get a spray bottle because the bedding is going to dry out before the next time you clean the cage, so you're going to need a spray bottle to keep the humidity up even when the bedding starts to dry out. And you are also going to need rats to feed to your snake, so please comment down below if you would like me to do a video on what size rat to feed your snake, but you're going to need rats to feed your snake. And I would not recommend feeding live rats. I would recommend frozen thawed because live rats can injure your snake while your snake is trying to eat them. They will fight back and they can scratch or injure your snake. So I would recommend having tongs as well because tongs can save your fingers when you're feeding, because if you are feeding from your hands, the snake might accidentally miss and grab your fingers, and you probably do not want that. So I just have kitchen tongs, and like, you don't need fancy tongs that are meant for feeding reptiles. I just have these kitchen tongs and they work fine. So you're also going to need reptile water conditioner because it is very important that you get all the chlorine and chemicals out of the water that you are feeding your snake or giving to your snake. And this is just the ReptiSafe by ZooMed. There are lots of different brands. They all do the same thing. This is just the one I have, and it works great. And you are going to need a thermometer in your snake's cage to make sure that your snake is not going to overheat and to make sure that you always have the correct temperatures. And you're going to need a hydrometer to make sure that the humidity isn't too high as for your snake to get scale rot, or too low for them to not be able to shed properly. And you're going to need a heat lamp with a bulb. I find that I use the infrared bulbs, and I use the 50-watt bulb for my ball python, and it keeps the cage at about 90 degrees, which is perfect for their basking spot. And my cage is about 12 inches tall, and a 50-watt bulb keeps it at about 90 degrees. So you're also going to need two hides, one on the hot side and one on the cold side, so that they can hide even if they don't want to be hot or if they don't want to be cold. And you're going to need opportunities for them to climb or enrichment, so wood, like driftwood or fake plants or even real plants are great for this. It's amazing enrichment because otherwise your animal is going to have nothing to do and is going to be bored out of their minds, and that's really not good for them. So you are also, for just preventative measures or for actual emergency use, as if this is kind of a first aid item. Prevenamite is really good for preventative measures, just for using every time you clean the cage. Or if your snake gets mites, this is amazing to use to kill the mites and get rid of the mites. So you are also going to need a water bowl. The water bowl needs to be big enough for your snake to lay down or like be able to coil up completely in it while not being smushed. So it needs to be able to fit their entire body. And I would recommend like a ceramic bowl. I don't have one, but he will tip it over so easily because mine is a plastic bowl. So I would recommend ceramic because ceramic will be so much heavier, so your snake won't be able to knock it over as easily. And you are going to need a shovel. So a shovel is going to be great for cleaning the cage and spot cleaning. So you're going to need to spot clean. And a lot of people use sifters for spot cleaning, and you can. I just prefer one shovel because you can clean the cage with it and you can also spot clean with it. So that is all you're going to need with for your first ball python. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!